I guess at some point my brain kind of just like accepts that like this is just typical anime bullshit, and like I'm so used to it, like my tolerance for it is so high that now it's like shit like that where it's just like you're not in love with me. You're lying clearly.
Clearly you're lying, even though you just said you weren't.
At
God
some point I
damn it.
kind of just go like whatever. Boys will be boys, I guess.
Fucking diptards. Whatever. Fuck this shit. Let's talk about banana fish.
Bananular fish.
Banana fish. Today, there's a high body count today.
There was a high body count today,
Mostly nameless people, but who really cares about them?
right? But there were a lot of dying. I've noticed that we've kind of, if I, let's see if I can actually use words to say what I'm trying to say.
No.
For a long time in the middle of this, we got all like weird and sciency with it, with the whole like, what is banana fish? How does it work? We know how it works. We're like doing experiments on people, and we're like trying to test things on Ash, and like it was all like weird and sciency. I now am realizing that we've gone back to like this is still about gangs in New York.
Yes.
Like this was straight up like gang warfare today.
Yeah, but instead of being gang versus gang, it's gang versus paramilitary whatever people.
Right.
It,
Random French mercenaries, if I remember correctly.
I don't know if they're all French. I know. I just know they're mercenaries.
There was at least one of them who was a member of the French military, I think.
Yes, I think he was like Picard or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I feel like I saw the word Picard somewhere in there.
I am not certain that that happened, but I'm gonna just not. I'm not gonna fight you on it.
Or was it John? I don't know. It was some French name, but yeah, it was a French dude.
One of those French names like Picard or John.
No, Jean.
Yeah, but you said John.
No, I said John. Whatever. Who cares? Your English ears can only hear it one specific way.
Or
This is
English.
your fault.
Are you accusing me of being like prejudiced? Essentially, is that what
No,
this
I'm
is?
accusing you of being ignorant.
You ignorant bitch.
Well, anyways, in today's episode, or not today, whenever Banana Fish comes out, Banana Fish 21, we start off
Uh,
with the gang waking up in their little rat's nest. I think this is what they called it, the rat's nest hideout.
oh right, I don't remember
Yeah,
what they called it, but yeah, the thing they talked about last time.
yeah. So they show up there. Nash wakes up, goes talk to AJ for a little bit, and they're like, "Yo, we got a plan. We got to do some shit." And then that's when they see Shing. They bring Shing up to kind of help him out because he's in a bad way. Because I think all of his friends get caught, and he jumps into the sewage water.
I think you're correct.
So 100% Shing has E. coli.
Oh yeah, no,
So he's gonna
fucked.
die.
He's gonna die,
If not because of E. coli, because he's gonna get shot soon.
undoubtedly.
He does not get die in this episode yet. But yeah, Shing shows up. They start healing him up, and he's like, "Yo, we gotta go save my friends. They're in trouble." So they go save his friends because they're in trouble. During this time, we also see cut to his friends, and YL is kind of doing scheming. He's scheming with them. He's like, "Yo, I'll do something for you. We don't know what it is yet, but
Hmm.
he's trying to seed. He's trying to. I don't know. He's trying to sow the seed of rebellion.
Yeah, he's trying to. He's clearly
Wow.
trying to enlist the second hand of not shorter of
Shing, who's I'm pretty sure his name's Lao
Shing.
or Laos. I think this is Lao.
Sure,
Shing's
Lao.
brother. Shing's half brother, kind of
Half brother.
half
I don't
relative.
remember. I
Half
don't know how
relative.
that works well enough to say that you're right or wrong, but I think you're right. I think it's half
HR.
brother.
Let's just call him HR because he's a half relative.
Okay,
SHR.
half relative. Uh, HR. He was like, YL was like insinuating that he was gonna have to do something in relation to like the Chinese gang and to Shin, but we don't exactly know what yet.
Yes. But we
But
do.
judging by what happens at the end of the episode, it is something.
It is enough that gets them to like kind of scheme against Ash.
Yeah.
So Ash and Kane save Shing's crew and they bring it back. While they're conversing, so I think this is jumping ahead a little bit. But this is when we start getting Kane's men start dying off because they're getting shot by the mercenaries. Before this, though, Ash and Max go to a gay bar,
Yeah.
named the gay bar,
The gay bar. No, it
which
was named something else.
but it had the words gay bar
It
on the
did have
fucking
the name.
sign.
Yeah, it had gay bar on the side. Remember,
Which,
New York in the 80s.
well, I mean, would they even do that? Because that's like that'd be really bad.
I
Like
don't
they would get
know.
targeted like right away.
But I mean, like you had to be very like there wasn't a lot of gay bars, I assume. So you had to be like if you were going to be a gay bar, you had to be like we're a gay bar. Like just say it on your sign, basically. I assume. I don't know.
I don't know enough about the 80s in New York City to say you're wrong.
I I I know that you're right about like they would get targeted, which means there probably wasn't a lot of them, which means if you were going to start one, you'd probably have to advertise it fairly obviously so that your gay clientele would know like this is for you. Come get some boys.
I don't know, but Ash and Max go in. They have to act like they're a couple for some reason. I didn't really get the
Well,
logic in
because they're
that.
trying not to draw attention to themselves. Because the whole reason they're going there is to find
Find Froggy.
find Froggy.
That man looks like a fucking frog. Jesus Christ.
I gotta find Froggy. Have you seen that episode yet?
I watched it with you.
No, you. He doesn't go find Froggy in that episode, does he?
Oh shit! He actually goes there to find Froggy. We're talking
Yeah,
about
he
It's
goes.
Always Sunny,
He
by
tries
the
to
way.
go. He tries to go and find Froggy in. Yeah, we're talking about It's Always Sunny and Frank and his past. But yeah, after the therapy episode, I forgot how many episodes later, but eventually he'll go try and find Froggy.
Oh my god! All right, I'm looking forward to that.
It's a great episode. I love it.
Frank is one of my favorite characters. Frank was a game changer in It's Always Sunny.
He was.
But anyways,
Danny
yeah,
DeVito is a legend.
they go to find Froggy, who looks like a hairy frog. It looks like the type of person who would try to fuck little kids. Uh, what else happens?
Yeah.
That
So he
I-
tries to. They show up to try and find Froggy because Froggy
He's got the
used to
pictures.
be like. Yeah, he was like a child predator essentially who enlisted children or not enlisted, kidnapped children.
Yeah, I
and
don't
gave
think
them.
he enlists kids to do that.
Yeah, I guess enlisted is the wrong word to
It's
use.
a very wrong word. He kidnapped kids and then forced them to do stuff.
Right.
Using the show's actual words. Kidnapping.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, they said that. He kidnapped a bunch of kids. He like rounded them up.
I knew that. I didn't see that he kidnapped them and made them do stuff, but he rounded them up, basically drugged them and raped them and took pictures of them and then sold them off to Papa Dino and all of his degenerate customers.
Well, yeah, the kids. But first he gave the pictures to Dino, for insurance.
Yeah.
But he also kept some pictures himself
Yes.
for insurance.
So-
I hope.
I am willing to bet not, actually.
Yeah, you know what? I just not think about that for a little bit.
Really willing to bet that he was in a money making
Mm.
opportunity there, but I don't want to think too hard about that one.
Yeah. But anyways, we see a guy with a scar try to hit
Yeah.
on Ash as well. Earlier, we also see him talk to Dino, and we know he's, some sort of military type of guy. So anyways, this is kind of his reconnaissance moment. So Ash and Max go up to Froggy's room, and they beat the shit out of Froggy because he's degenerate scum. And they get the pictures without killing Froggy. Even though Ash kind of has this moment where, like, kind of a rage, and he only sees red and almost kills Froggy.
Yeah.
Like any normal person would do.
I mean, to be fair, he did have some PTSD flashbacks there for a moment with all the clicking in his head.
Yes. But anyways, they get the pictures, they bail the fuck out, and then up comes, I think his name's Fox.
Was it Fox?
There's-
I don't remember.
The letters Fox are somewhere in his name.
Okay, I'm willing to accept that. I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah, so whatever. Scar
Scar.
guy, comes in and kills Froggy. Because,
Yeah.
you don't want any loose ends.
Yeah.
No witnesses and all that shit. So, fast forward, after Kane figures out his men are dying, he kind of goes around, finds, looks at all the carnage, and goes to this one specific area with Ash where they get jumped by the military guys. They manage to escape, and they all round up, and they kind of, they're trying to figure out, create a plan, because, if they all stay there, they're just going to get jumped by the military and then die. If they try to move, they'll get jumped by the military and die. So, they're trying to figure out what to do. Nick?
Yeah, so basically after the military had lured Ash and Kane into their little ambush in the bar and Kane and Ash run back, Ash makes a stop off he basically understands that this is he takes the fingerprints of some of the military members in order to figure out who they are during the ambush, and they figure out at that point that they are mercenary members. And so Ash realizes at this point that this is basically Papadino trying to like tie up the loose ends of the banana fish thing, and Ash as he's escaped and all that. So he realizes that the most at threat person is the only other person who is trying to, or the person who's trying to expose all of this, Max. So he runs off to Max's, Max and the lawyer. So he runs off to try and find them both. He finds Max going into the lawyer's apartment. As the military members bust out trying to gun down Max, Ash takes them both out, and they rescue the lawyer after he's been tortured.
And now, either before or after this, they burned the pictures.
Oh yeah, that was right after they got the pictures.
Oh,
they basically took the relevant information about the kids that were in the pictures, so they know who they need to protect from basically all the shit that's about to come down when this gets exposed. And they burn the physical evidence because this shit's fucked up, yo. Because it was basically Ash's pictures from his encounter in this.
No, it was everyone's. It was mostly everyone's.
It was everyone's, but specifically the ones that they were going to use were Ash's.
I think they kept digital copies.
I hope they didn't.
I'm pretty sure you would need to keep that.
I don't want them to have.
As a lawyer, that's probably something like you'd have to keep.
Probably.
For posterity's sake. Yes, it is fucked up, but he's... That's why he was clicking through the laptop. He's like, these guys are sick fucks.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Yeah,
these guys are sick fucks.
But yeah, because there are images on the laptop.
Yeah.
But anyways,
so the lawyer and Max, and so at this point they then, I don't understand if they then asked Max's wife to come out to New York, or if she was already coming out, or if she was there already, or what.
At some point he does tell her, but we don't really know when. We just know that at some point he did.
Okay.
Because she has enough time to send her kid to her sister's house, and then she shows up.
Yeah.
Which I'm not too... Oh, yeah, right, because she understands what banana shit is too. I remember that part. So they protect her as well.
They have to protect Max's wife as well. So after she, basically, understandably, is pissed off that she's getting, protection duty by two gang members that she doesn't know over something that she's doesn't really want to be involved in, she goes back to the rat's nest to yell at Max for a while, and they start the planning session for how they're going to try and basically conduct a guerrilla warfare against a paramilitary organization and try and survive.
Yep. And their main plan is to have a main group that stays at Ward 2 or wherever they are, and then have other groups start retreating back to the downtown area where they're kind of more where it actually be guerrilla warfare, where they know their area more.
And specifically, they're retreating through the sewers back to downtown.
And Xing, AG, the wife, who I knew who her name was, because I don't want to just call her the wife because she's more interested in AG.
Lau or whatever his
HR.
That's what
they all go.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is the wife decides to go back, which I'm pretty sure this was planned, because they understand that the other Chinese guys, the Lau and his gang, are probably not very trustworthy. So as they're going through the sewers, Xing, AG, and the wife head back to Ash's group. Which I think this part was planned.
Okay, that
is my prediction.
I did not take it that way, because they both Ash and AG and the wife and Max both had their I'll see you in 48 hours scene. That was not obviously people were listening and so we're doing this as a cover thing. It seemed more of a private moment, so I don't think it was planned.
One reason I say it's planned is because Xing is just very kind of okay about it.
Right, yeah.
He doesn't say,
what you're saying.
Hey, come back. He's like, I guess I gotta go with them. See ya.
Yeah. He's like, oh, somebody else is going back to fight? I want to get some too. Let's go.
Right, he just fucking goes. Which,
by
the way...
accepting of that, so yeah, I can
not Saki, whatever her name is, the wife gets a gun. Aegis is not, because she's
had a gun.
Has she had a gun?
Yeah, when the gang members showed up at her door to protect her, she fucking punched her in the face and whipped out a piece.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
So she had a gun.
Wow,
that was her gun.
This give fucking AJ a gun. I mean, he probably won't hit anyone, but
seriously,
people get scared.
He closes his eyes when he shoots. So, I mean, come on.
I mean, you still don't want to run up against someone who has a gun.
He missed Papadino from like 6
Yeah, but
inches.
they won't know that.
Okay, valid still though.
Well, anyways, yeah, they retreat, and what ends up happening is they actually manage to get Max and the group that he's with, and take him hostage. And they're like, "Yo, Ash, come out!" And then Ash is like, "All right, I'm gonna come out," while the ending is playing. And boom,
Yeah.
ending or episode ended.
So the thing is, and this is why, like, as I think about it, you might be right with the whole like this was planned thing. It was a lot of the group, but there were specific people from that group that we like. Kane wasn't in that group, and he's not with Ash. So Kane is somewhere.
Well, he was originally with Ash, and then he
Yeah, but
they
they
split
split
up.
up. But
But
he's not there now. He's not still with Ash. So we don't know where Kane is, which means like maybe you're right, and this whole thing was planned.
if anything, Kane's just probably hiding. Like
True,
they don't
yeah.
want Kane. Might as well not,
I mean,
don't
it's still
don't
like
int
some
into
of
them.
Kane's guys are in there though.
Yeah, but they're probably hiding out to because right now if you try to just shoot at them, like it's not a very very good plan. Just start shooting. They've got
Right.
hostages, so you might as well lay low for a bit and kind of play the field after a bit.
True. But it could also be that I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of like
This is
larger
all-
plan
all
that they're gonna
according
there
to
are multiple
Kaikeku.
people. Yeah, exactly.
We'll
So
find
maybe
out next episode.
we will find out next episode. I just want to see Kunai with chain. Whip out the fucking Kunai with chain again.
Yo, Kunai was fucking like wire.
Dude was like hanging motherfuckers with that wire.
Yeah, hopefully we will see that again. That's gonna be kind of fun. Or even better, we're gonna get fucking Blake, wherein he just ties the kunai onto a gun and it's just whipping it around.
That would be the ultimate move.
So that's Banana Fish. It's still going strong.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the ending in a while because there's just so much to put in a fucking episode that they have to have scenes during the ending.
Yeah, it has been a while, I think. It's been 3 or 4 episodes since last time we've seen the actual ending.
Yeah, and we're also getting a double-length episode at the end as well for the
So
season
which
finale.
episode is the last episode? Is it 24 or 25?
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's gonna be in like 3 weeks. Which, by the way, we're almost done with the season.
It's going to be 40 minutes long. I mean, we've pretty much picked what we're going to watch next season.
Oh yeah,
We're watching Boogie Pop, which we saw a new trailer for, and we still have no idea what the fuck is happening.
no idea, but I really want it to be good.
Brandon thinks that there was a question in the trailer.
Okay, come on. It's a fucking trailer with a lot of speaking. There was at least one question.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. There could have just been a lot of indignant yelling.
I'm pretty sure some girl said, "What are you talking about?" Or something of that, like...
You're probably right. There
Something
probably
like that.
was a question like that.
Like, if there's ever a trailer about some myth, someone always says, "That's not real," or "What are you talking about?" Like, without a fucking, like... It always happens. Like, it's always
It's a
the
good point.
cliche.
Yeah, yeah.
Regardless of where, like, what country of origin this, like, media is, someone's gonna say that. But anyways,
Right. Somebody tells the story and it's like, but it's all true, and somebody else is like, what are you talking about? That couldn't possibly be.
you just, like... That lot... Those words you said were said so many times before
Yeah.
in every trailer.
Yeah, you're totally right. I remember it now. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, like it's all coming back to you. You're having a flashback.
It's like it's one of those moments where your brain doesn't focus on an individual memory. It's just like you feel like I've heard it so many times. Like it's just a faceless entity. It's like a million trailers have had that same scene.
Yeah. But yeah, Boogie Pop, Kaguya-sama or Kaguya whatever. Is it Kaguya-sama? I don't remember. Kaguya wants to be
Yeah,
confessed
I
to?
think it's something like that. Kaguya-sama wants to be confessed to.
I'm pretty sure it's, whatever. Or Love is War. I don't know what the fucking title is. There's like 10 million fucking titles for this fucking show.
I think it's wants to be confessed to, but I might be wrong.
But I
I'm
also
pretty
saw like Kaguya, blah, like hyphen or colon. Love is War or something. I don't know. And then there's the one where the kid fucks the teacher's daughter because he wants to fuck the teacher.
Nope, teacher's sister.
Teacher's sister. Whoops. Oh yeah, because teacher's like 28, 26, 26. I don't know.
20, yeah.
20. She's a Christmas cake. That's
She's
the most
Christmas
important part.
But also young enough to be viable for a love interest when they both show up as his stepsisters.
Are they his stepsisters?
I think so. Wasn't that the point?
I thought.
He bangs the teacher's sister, and then they both become his stepsisters.
Oh shit.
I feel like that was the point, if I remember the summary correctly.
We will see this. We will figure this out next week.
We will figure it out. What sort of Mad Lad anime we're about to be
Oh my
watching.
god, I can't fucking wait. But we also have to, pick one or two just in cases. Which, I mean,
But we
there are
also
plenty
have
of them.
Rising of the Shield Hero, and
All right.
I'm sure there's at least one other thing in here that's good.
I think we'll have to, pick five and then just roll. Roll
That's
three.
fair.
Chances are we're going to watch all five of, the ones we really want to watch. Because there's a lot. It's packed next season, I think.
There's some pretty solid choices.
Yeah. But anyways,
And they have Kakegurui season 2 coming at some point. Is it not this season? No, it is a season.
I read that up until the part where they go up the fucking tower.
They didn't actually animate that part. They
What?
animated a different scene for that, which was weird.
No.
I finally read it recently, and having watched it, I knew what game they were supposed to play when they get to that scene. The tower game was not the game they play in the show. They instead play this weird number counting game with cards,
no.
where each card has a certain value, or it's each card in a tarot deck has a certain value, and both people turn over 2 cards, and they add up to a certain number, and whoever's the higher number wins. It's a really weird card game. But then again, every game they play in that game in that story is weird as fuck.
Yeah. But no, I say I read up until the tower, but I just don't recall anything that happens. I just know there's a tower at some point.
Yeah, the Tower of Doors or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you open
But I know
something, you always lose. It's always fun. Behind this door, death. Yay!
Yeah. Well, technically, behind all of the outside doors was death because it was a long drop off of the tower to death.
And you have to jump.
Well, the person who lost had to jump.
But anyways, next up, I'm flipping through what sounds like papers, but they're actually, it's actually just blank. But anyways, Goblin Slayer.
Solid. Way to make it
need
sound
my-
official and then immediately take away that illusion.
I need my note cards. Goblin Slayer. It's just the drawings of random rectangles.
Next up on Anime Book Club. There we go.
Hold
My
on,
papers are all in order.
There we go,
It's actually a letter that I happen to have. I
Anyway.
scraped the envelope of the letter together.
Goblin Slayer. In this episode, they figure out what the mirror is, kind of. Well, yeah, they figure out what it is. It's a
Yeah.
gate. It connects some goblin encampment to the sewer system.
sewer world, yeah.
ruins.
Ruins. I don't know why I called it a world.
Catacombs? No, not catacombs. You did the catacombs last time.
They're more
Ruins.
sewers than catacombs. Yeah, ruins, sewers.
Would it be
something
because this area they were in kind of seemed like a pew, like a little church?
Yeah,
What?
it did seem churchy, but then there was also the waterway that I think they were connected to 2 or 3 episodes ago with the boats, and that was more sewery. So I
Yeah.
have no idea what this
I don't
place is.
Well, it's just it's Venice.
It's also
Venice.
under a city, so I'm kind of more leaning towards.
Not all of it.
Well, yeah, I mean it's connected to the part that's under the city.
I suggest I propose that it is Venice after a very long time.
Okay,
It's Venice after global warming.
interesting. So this whole story is taking place far in the future.
Sure, fuck it, why not? That's
Okay.
why goblins are aliens. There you go.
Goblins are aliens, based on what we saw in the mirror, quite possibly. Because
Well,
when
no.
they showed you the mirror thing, you saw all the ground was green, and you could see the red moon behind them, but it was gigantic.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, so they may actually live on that green moon.
I'll be honest. I remember that scene being yellow, and I thought they were mountains.
I mean, they were like rocky up and down things. So
Well,
I mean,
I don't remember any green. I just remember yellow.
it was I mean, it wasn't
Oh my
like
God.
vibrant. It wasn't like Shrek green, but it was like greenish.
But that moon is pretty fucking green. Whatever.
It is pretty fun. It was not that green. You're right. It was definitely not the same color green as the moon, but it was greenish.
But that's the thing, I don't even remember an aspect of green. I just remember yellow. Sand yellow.
I'm fairly certain it was like greenish.
You've blown my mind. Well, whatever.
I definitely remember the red moon being gigantic in the sky behind them.
All right. Well, I'll go back and see what scene you're talking about, and I'll post a picture and see. We'll see who's right or who's wrong. I don't fucking know. But anyways, Yeah, they figure out that there's a gate. Because they fucked with it, the champion goblin and all the other goblins are like, yo, we gotta go save our fucking mirror thing because it's our god or whatever.
Well, they show up because he blew up the fucking eyeball and it
Oh,
made a
right.
gigantic shake that everybody could feel.
That too. Um, so, yeah, they head over to the mirror, and while they're doing, well, while they hear him coming, they pretty quickly set up a little rampart, like a
Yeah.
little barricade.
Well, they did use Elf Girl's elf ears to hear the goblins coming, so we don't actually know how far away they were
Well,
at that
everyone
point.
heard it.
Did they? I thought it was just the Elf Girl.
No, not even the elf girl. I think the first person that says it, or I think Goblin Slayer may have said they're probably coming, and then Elf Girl's like, yeah, they are coming. So
Okay.
that may have been the interaction. Um, but anyways, I guess just
If that was the interaction, it makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, they definitely put that rampart together way too quickly.
but yeah, either way, like the cuts between didn't seem like it didn't make it feel like there was time passing by. They kind of just like cut to the goblins running, and then like they cut back and then the rampart's already up.
Yeah.
If they had like added a couple of scenes where they're putting them up, interspliced with the gums running, you kind of sense the how much time is going in between each other. But neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. It's fairly quick.
Yeah.
So that happens.
It was definitely more like a makeshift, wood barricade thing. It wasn't very like official, so it didn't feel like unexpected that they could put it together. But it did
Elf
feel
Girl still does not want to use fire, which fire would be very useful here. Just fucking throw Molotovs and fuck up those fucking goblins in that single hallway.
yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so much fucking cool. No, I'm like, hey, I don't want to use fire. So instead of using fire, they're like, yo, let's just fucking bring down the roof.
Yep.
So while they're getting ready, or what the biggest thing they're trying to do during the scene is to actually get the gate off of the wall so they can put it over themselves so that they're covered when the rocks fall down. Because if the rocks fall down onto the gate, they don't actually hit the people under the mirror. They go through the mirror. They go through the gate.
Yeah.
So wonderful plan. So the two people that are trying to take the mirror off the wall are the priestess and dragon priestess.
The Dragon Priest. Yeah.
Dragon priestess. I'm gonna call him that from now on.
Okay.
DP and normal P, both are trying to take it out of the wall, while High Elf, Dwarf, and Goblin Slayer are just kind of beating the shit out of goblins. Goblin Slayer goes up to the champion and has the champion kill everyone else because why swing a sword when you can just have someone else do it for you?
Exactly.
And they're like, all right, let's just bring the roof down. They bring the roof down, and the rocks fall through, killing everything. And that was
Well,
that scene.
first they blind all the goblins. They don't see what's happening, and then they bring the
Oh
roof
yes,
down.
that's what High
And
Priestess
while they're
used.
all standing there with covering their faces with their hands so they don't go blind, the rocks fall down and crush everybody. And they are protected by their warp gate that absorbs all of the rocks.
That is what Priestess used her miracle on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Flash.
flashbanged.
She's a Pokemon. She's that one Pokemon you give Flash to and never bring on any actual battles.
Just for when you're crawling around the caves.
Yep. Even then,
90% of the time it exists in your PC because who the fuck cares about Flash? And the one time it's like, oh, I have to go into a cave, time to go back to or time to go back to the PC and take out my Flash Pokemon.
when I first started playing Pokemon, I didn't know about Flash, so I actually did all the caves like just blind.
You just smashed your face into the wall until you could find the exit.
Yeah, and then like eventually I played it so much that I just like knew what path to take.
That is amazing. I know that on the original in the original Game Boy Pokemon Blue, you could change which color setting you were set to. So if you changed it to, I forget what it was called, but it's basically inverse, you could see the cave when you went in. It was the only one where it was the only color setting you could entirely see the cave without having to use flash. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, okay.
It makes the rest of the game look so bad, but it was so funny because I was watching it was basically like a 4-person speed run race of Pokemon Blue, and one person had his color settings set to that. 90% of the game looked like garbage, but when they went in the cave, he was the only person that looked amazing.
Did he win?
He did not win, I
Oh.
don't think.
See,
It was a good race though. It was AGDQ a year or two ago.
okay.
It was fucking great. And it was really cool to hear about the Pokemon speedrun strats and how the game decides really weird stuff based on your HP and
A bunch
based
of other
on
shit.
Yeah, a whole
So
bunch of like there's a whole bunch of random shit that goes into calculations for like damage and crit chance and who goes first, more than just like Pokemon stats. Like it's
yeah,
really bizarre what went into the calculations back in Pokemon Blue.
have you like noticed that any speedrunner who like speedruns the game hates the game they're speedrunning?
Yes.
Like without a fucking doubt, they
Oh yeah,
always hate
no.
the game.
They hate the game.
Because like I assume it starts off with like, hey, I like this game. I'm gonna play it and see, I'm gonna speedrun it because it sounds like fun.
Uh,
A month later, like I fucking hate this, and they just keep doing it because they
yeah.
want to get faster.
They just want to keep getting better, but at a certain point you're just like, I know everything that's going to happen. This game is not fun anymore. I'm just doing this to be faster at it. I hate this.
I remember watching a fucking Thousand Year Door speedrun, and this kid just hated the fucking game. Like the hour that he played Thousand Year Door, he just talked about how this game was fucking awful.
Well, because to them, it's like their entire
Well, yeah.
game experience comes down to like 4 or 5 moments in the game.
Well, no, it comes down to basically breaking the game because people are stupid and they made the game wrong.
Well,
That's
yeah,
how
no.
speedrunners happen.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, there's always like 3 or 4 like key moments where they have to like get a certain input at the certain time on a certain frame to have something happen. Like there's always 3 or 4 moments that are like, oh, I didn't get it. Okay, reset. Like that's 40 minutes down the drain that I'll never get back. It doesn't matter.
Ah, so much fun.
Speedruns are fucking fun to watch, but goddamn, do they look painful to do.
So then Goblin Slayer, they all kind of, crawl out of the rubble along
Yeah.
with their gate mirror.
Hmm.
They just, start kind of dancing around, and then Elf kind of pushes Goblin Slayer off a little encampment or embankment.
Embankment.
Uh, and that's that scene.
Yep. So then they go back to
They go
the
back
town
to
to
town.
report to Sword Maiden about basically about the completion of the quest, but also because Goblin Slayer wants to talk to people about what he saw down there.
Oh yes, the Goblin encampment.
The Goblin encampment, and he wants to figure out about like why there is the alligator down there that seems to be basically preventing people from going down there into the
It's not really
you know
preventing. It's just that it just does all the job for them. So there's no
well,
reason
it
to go
was
down
kind of
there.
preventing them because he talks about how it was like trying to run them off essentially.
Oh, okay. I read it more as in like alligator basically just does everything. Because something they noted was that it was fairly aside from the goblins, there's nothing much down there. Like there's not really any rats or anything. Not
Yeah,
really anything
but
for
they
invaders
they
to do.
note that in the context of like it's weird that a city that big doesn't have like a rat infestation in their sewers.
Yeah, because the alligator did everything.
Yeah, because the alligator does
Chomp chomp.
everything. So the alligator is like clearly there to try and keep people away from going in the sewers.
Which I think it's actually a crocodile.
Maybe.
Because alligators have pointed noses. I think this one had like a more kind of a shorter snout with kind of a squared off snout.
Okay.
That would indicate that it's a crocodile, not an alligator.
Crocodile.
I actually saw a Reddit post about this like 30 minutes ago.
Interesting. Specifically in context of Goblin Slayer, or just in
No,
context of alligators versus crocodiles?
they're like, yo, what's an alligator versus what's a crocodile? And it was just a short gif of like, yo, this is what a crocodile looks like. I was like, all right.
Huh. All right then.
And
Maybe you're
then
right.
I had a little thought like, hey, I think that was a crocodile, not an alligator.
Maybe it was a
Regardless,
crocodile.
it's some sort of crocodilian. I think crocodilian is like both crocodiles and alligators.
I think you're right.
Anyways, it's some sort of chompy monster, which happens to be Sword Maiden's familiar. Her
Yes.
summon.
Her summon.
I wonder if she can turn into alligator sage mode. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
It would be, but it would also be really bizarre looking, probably.
She'd be the croc. She'd be a
She'd be Killer
alligator.
Croc. She would be for alligator,
Yeah, she would be for alligator, but blind.
but blind. Yeah.
Actually, fun fact: there's like blind alligators that are completely white in some sewer systems in Florida.
Uh, well, as soon as you said Florida, I was like, I'm just gonna accept that this is gospel because that does not surprise me.
Yeah. I forgot they turn white because they're not exposed to sunlight.
Okay.
And they're also blind because they don't have any use for it.
Okay,
It's kind of weird,
that makes sense.
but yeah. So there's there's a fun little interaction between the White Alligator and Sword Maiden, given that, you know, White
They
Alligator's
both are
blind.
blind, yeah.
Yeah. We don't know if this alligator's blind, though. We just know
I
that
don't, I
the
don't
White
know if
Alligator.
the creator knew that about the white alligators that lived in Florida,
It's just a
but
fun,
it would be
connection.
interesting, yeah.
But yeah, he asked Sword Maiden about all that shit, and she's like, yeah, I knew about that. And,
Because she did it because she basically has more PTSD than we thought based on last
oh,
episode
yeah,
about
about
her
the alligator.
experience with the goblins.
I thought she knew about the goblins being up in the gate world.
Oh yeah, she knew about the goblins in the Gate World,
Oh, okay.
and she knew that the reason people were being killed in her city had nothing to do with the goblins. It had to do with the demon lord
Demon Lord,
and all of
whatever.
that, and the
I think they already
fact
killed
that
him.
they did. She mentioned that as well. That the demon lord had already been killed by the hero, but now the goblins that were living below in her sewer system were basically planning on attacking the city in like retribution against her because of that, and she was
Wait,
terrified of the goblins attacking.
is that why people? Wait, were people still dying during this time though? I think
Yes,
okay.
they were
Oh,
being
okay,
killed
because the goblins were
by
coming up more and more. All right.
no,
What?
because they were. It was as far as I understood, the people dying had nothing to do with the goblins. The people dying had stuff to do with the demon, the whole like demon conclave thing that we saw get wiped out 2 or 3 episodes ago.
But didn't that happen like 20 years ago?
No, that happened like the same time as this show. This is the new demon lord. Remember how when the elf
Oh,
shows up in the
fucking
very
bullshit!
beginning?
Demon Lord being reborn again, right? I forgot about that.
Yeah, right. Well, because it's entirely irrelevant to the plot. Again, Goblin Slayer does not care if it's not goblins. You don't have to. You don't have to care about the demon lord. We will never see him because it's not a goblin.
I wish it was a goblin.
At least as far as I'm aware, it's not a goblin.
I am fucking Goblin Demon Lord rank.
I am the demon lord, reborn in this small, puny green form. Goblin Slayer is triggered. Anyways, but yeah, so
And then
people were
he
being
walks
killed
away.
because of the demon lord thing, but there were the goblins living below the sewer, below in the sewer system that were like involved with the bringing back of the demon lord because they're like
They're demon spawn.
yeah, they're demon spawn. And so now that the demon lord was wiped out by the new hero, and the sword maiden was involved in the old demon lord being slain, the goblins were basically in her sewer system were planning on like a retribution raid in her city to try and get revenge against the sword maiden, and she was terrified against that and could do nothing because she has horrible terrors involving goblins now because of her past. And so she contracted Goblin Slayer out to do the killing of the goblins and basically blamed them for the murders of the people in her city that they had not committed. So that was why she was originally trying to keep them penned in with the alligator, why she had summoned Goblin Slayer to take care of just goblins, why people weren't being kidnapped, people were being killed. Like, it basically explains a lot of the stuff that didn't add up in Goblin Slayer's head, was because Sword Maiden was terrified and kind of protecting them.
Did he ever question it on screen though?
Question what?
The fact that they died immediately. I remember him saying, "Hey, that's kind of weird." He kind of just brings it up this episode.
Oh, I don't think they do ever question the people dying. But I mean, I feel like he didn't really know what to think of it at first. Like, he just
Oh.
thought it was weird, like it wasn't something goblins do, but he didn't know who to bring it up to. I don't know. I definitely don't think they brought it up on screen up until this point. That yeah, the goblins. It was weird that people were dying and being like gutted.
This could have
but
been
not
Nancy
taken.
Drew.
It could have been Nancy Drew, but it wasn't.
Ugh,
It was Goblin
I'm
Slayer.
upset now. Goblin Slayer, the Nancy Drew arc. Something seems off. And then they go on a fucking carriage ride and they're like, "Yo, let's make some ice cream." I'm like, all right.
Yep. It also
And
ended with Sword Maiden being like, "Please save me," and Goblin Slayer being like, "No, but if you have goblins to slay, I'll come slay them."
that too.
So he basically, I guess, helps her, but I didn't really feel like it didn't feel like he was really helping her at the end. She seemed very grateful, but I felt like it was very weird.
I saw it more as a help me help you. If there are goblins, tell me, and you just, yeah, and that's all you need. That's all you
Right.
need.
If there are goblins, I'll come slay them. Other than that, you got to do you, girl.
Peace.
You got to pull yourself back together. And then he
I have
goes
a
back home.
question.
I might have an answer.
How like the revive spell? Is it only like one revive spell per version?
Per person?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, like, now that you just have the fucking priestess, can't you just keep dying and just have her revive you every time?
I I feel like it has to be like priestess can only revive one person, otherwise it would be super broken.
It would be broken. It'd be like a black market for virgins. They'd be pretty well protected because you want to keep them a virgin,
Right. I
right?
mean, then we start getting into the whole like,
Some crazy shit. But anyways,
some crazy, yeah, ancient shit where like we have to keep the virgins in like a temple together, and we're pulling some old like ancient Rome fucking
that was
the
Greek.
virgins of Hestia shit.
That was Greece.
Or was that Greece that
Yeah,
did
there's
the
also like
virgins?
yeah, because you gotta have like 7 or 6 virgins up in the temple somewhere. I don't remember.
I think it was the seven Vestal virgins.
Yeah, 7. It's always
It's
if it's
usually
virgins,
seven.
it's usually 7. Because like there were 7 virgins that needed to get sent to King Minos, right? For the Minotaur.
I think that's correct.
I think it was about 7.
I
But
think it was
anyways,
seven.
yeah, I was just wondering about that because like now you just continuously die and just keep being reborn. Of course, die. It doesn't take away the pain of dying.
Right,
But
dying still sucks.
now you just can into a bunch of goblins, be revived, and just do it again.
I mean that does.
It's become.
I think the also necessary part of the revive spell is your body probably has to be in a state in which it can be revived.
It's become League of Legends.
It
Just
is
hint into the minions.
into the minions, into the enemy team endlessly, and eventually you'll be worth so little, but you'll have killed them all, so it works out.
Uh, moving on. Let's talk about. You can choose the next one.
All right, let's talk about Zombieland Saga.
Hey, okay. Zombieland Saga. This episode had a very long title.
It did. I noticed that. It was almost like it was. I want to say it's like parodying light novels because it was like 4 light novel titles long.
Oh, I don't think it was. I just think it was a funny, stupid, long title.
Here I will look up what exactly the title was because
I
it
don't
was.
really give a shit. I just remember that it took off like the entire screen in the opening.
Oh yeah, no, it did.
It was long, but this episode was Saki centered.
Yeah.
Uh,
Though my life may have ended once by some twist of fate, I have risen, and if song and dance are to be my fate, then carrying the memories of my comrades in my heart as I sally forth shall be my saga.
oh wait, does every single title have the word saga in it?
Yes.
Huh. I wouldn't know because I haven't been reading any of the fucking titles. That would make
I
sense.
just noticed that they always have saga in the title because it's also always all caps.
Ah, okay.
The rest of the title is not necessarily all caps, but saga is always all caps.
Okay.
So it's very eye-catching.
Makes sense. Yeah, Saki centered. The first scene we see is actually Saki talking to a purplish haired girl with a bunch of different highlights in her hair.
Yeah.
They're just kind of shooting the shit about
Mhm.
random crap. We see it's revealed that they've just beat up a bunch of I guess middle or high school girls.
I think
Just a
middle
bunch
school.
of other girls. It's just other girls.
Right.
And then they hop onto their
Their bikes.
motorcycles.
Motorcycles,
They're fucking
yeah.
scooters. Their scooters are like plastic bits like glued on.
I mean, I think they're motorcycles. I think they're full on motorcycles.
Oh my god, they are fucking ugly.
I mean, judging by how fast fucking we saw them going on the motorcycle later in the episode, I think they were motorcycles.
Regardless, there's some ugly fucking motorcycles.
Yeah, they were ostentatious.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Fucking pink and purple. They look like Power Ranger motorcycles.
They did kind of, didn't they?
Actually, all the motorcycles in this episode look like Power Ranger motorcycles.
I think that's a bike gang thing, though.
Oh my god, what fucking losers.
Like the ostentatious, like high swoopy things that like come up around you, so it looks like you're in like an escape pod,
I'm surprised I didn't see one fucking pompadour in this fucking episode.
right? That would have. Although fucking, we'll talk about it later. But the flashback other gang leader,
Fucking Moltres.
Jesus,
Moltres
the
looking
hair.
motherfucker.
That was amazing.
But yeah, we skip forward in time and now, the idol gang is finds out that their major demographic, their major fan demographic, is a bunch of old people. Most of
Right.
the Saga's a bunch of old people.
Because Saga is a whole bunch of old people, apparently.
Yep. Apparently, if I read that pie graph correctly, about 95% old people.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that. Yeah,
Right,
that was about, judging by eye. Yeah, 95% old people
95%. Which, by the way, is the same
and five
demographic.
percent young people. There is no in between.
Yeah, the same percent. That's the same percentage actually of Japan right now. 95%
Uh,
old people, and it's
95% old people,
increasing
definitely.
every day.
That's definitely how Japan looks demographically right now.
They've got very low fertility rate.
That is true. It is alarmingly low. Don't think it's quite 95% old people, but you are right about the alarmingly low birth rate.
Fertility rate, not birth rate. There's a difference. I don't
Is
remember
there?
what it is, but there's a difference.
I think you're wrong.
Actually, I want to look this up now.
Okay.
Fertility rate,
Um,
birth rate.
the number of children who would be born per woman if she were to pass through. Okay, I guess you're right about fertility rate. Wait, the birth rate is the total number of live births per 1,000 in a population in a year or period.
Mm-hmm.
The total fertility rate, um, the average number of children that would be born to a woman over her lifetime if she was to experience the exact current age specific fertility rates through her lifetime and she was to survive from birth to end of her reproductive life.
Okay. So birth rate is like birth rate isn't an indicator. It is basically a past. It's a past data. It's a data point that we know. Fertility rate is kind of like an extrapolation of that. Kind of.
Um,
No, that doesn't really
Not
make sense.
exactly. They don't exactly
Oh.
seem to be linked in any way.
Fertility rate like determines the birth rate.
Kind of. Fertility rate seems to be geared more towards a a because it's a number that's entirely quantified based on the number of women. Because essentially, you can have a population of only men who would have a quantifiable birth rate of 0, but it would not have a quantifiable fertility rate because there are no women in that society. So it's like your fertility rate then depends on the number of female children that there are. Like China, with its fucked up birth policies, where it fucked up the distribution of men and women. It's no longer a 50-50 split in China. It's like 60-40 or something like that, or it's approaching 60-40. It would skew its population birth rate, but it wouldn't skew its fertility rate because the same number of children per women would be born.
Yes. Well, fun fact: it actually only fucked up the demographic in rural areas because in urban areas people weren't having that many kids anyways.
Oh, interesting. Didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That's usually how it goes. Urban areas just don't have a lot of kids. Like just they're really
Urban
expensive.
areas.
It's just expensive.
Exactly, yeah. I can understand
Um,
that.
and in rural areas, you usually tend to want more children so they can work the farms with you. That's why my parents both each have like 9 brothers and sisters. But yeah, my mom has like 8 or 9 brothers and sisters, and same thing with my dad, as opposed to
Damn.
me who has one sister.
One sister, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
One of you has to go work on the farm.
yeah. But yeah, that's just what ends up happening. But anyways, yeah, fertility rate is usually a prime indicator of like the growth or how, fertility rate is a better indicator of how a population grows um, over time as opposed to the birth rate. Um, and you think you need like a 2.1 ish fertility rate to be basically stagnant, have a stagnant
Population.
population. Yeah, it's not 2, it's 2.1, which is kind of weird.
Well, because some people won't get married or die young.
That's a good point.
So you need to have a population, or you need to have a birth rate, because the number of live births does not equal to the number of people who will reach full maturity.
Yes.
So you need to be slightly above 2 in order to compensate for people who will die young. So yeah, 2.1, 2 point, yeah, something like that
Yeah,
sounds about
it's
right.
above 2. But yeah, yeah, fun shit. But fuck. Oh my god, my train of thought has gone completely off the fucking rails. I'm gonna keep talking until I remember what we were talking about. I
Well,
know
we were
it's
talking about
Zombieland
Zombieland Saga.
Something about
And
motorcycles looking fucking atrocious.
we talked
Uh,
about their main demographic being old people.
Because
so
of
we were going
old
to talk about
people,
the dancing.
they are, they go up to them and like, yo, we're gonna dance with you. And
It is
at
traditional dance
first, yeah,
specifically.
at first, like when he like gets up and starts cracking his bones, like, oh, I'm gonna see some cool shit here in a second, and it's gonna be
Right.
funny. But the exact opposite happened, where they're like kind of moving their hands a little bit. But I found that funnier.
Right.
Like I built this expectation in my head, and it was just completely. Which, by the way, this expectation wasn't like, it wasn't really propagated by the show itself. It was just in my mind, and it made it funnier that way.
I mean, it kind of did because they also did like the whole music come on, and then somebody hits like the play
Oh,
button on the stereo,
yeah,
and then like this really grainy music starts. Like it was immediately like the tone they were going for, and grainy music, and like the like slow coordinated, or not slow, but like just coordinated like hand
it was pretty
motions.
slow.
It was kind of slow. It wasn't like super slow. They were pretty. It was moving. It was moving faster than I would have expected for old people. Let's put it that way.
Depends how old they are.
True. They looked old, but then again, I have no idea how old Asian people look. So
Yeah. So after they kind of start, after they're done dancing around, and Lily and Sakura.
Lily, Sakura, and Tai.
Oh, her name's actually Sakura. I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue.
I'm fairly certain it's Sakura.
Whatever, pink hair. Oh, yeah, pink hair. Of course, her name's Sakura. They're just talking around, and then we get the super fucking, like, not edgy.
Not edgy. They were just like try-harding.
They were tryharding. There's like a specific word for it. Ah, I don't know.
Try-harding.
Sure, tryharding. Maria and her two little friends show up in some more fucking goonish looking motorcycles. They
Okay,
get
no,
off.
those were scooters. Those were mopeds.
Okay.
Those were
See,
not
that's what I was
motorcycles.
thinking.
Those were scooters.
They're all fucking scooters, whatever.
No, no, the girls in the past, Saki and her purple hair friend had like straight up motorcycles. Those things the girls showed up on were scooters.
Whatever. They're all fucking scooters to me.
Those were electric motorcycles.
They're
Or
mooters.
those were electric scooters.
They show up and like she becomes all like the art style kind of changed a little bit to be a more grainy
Yeah.
and like very rough, and she's like, "Yo, I'm here," and
She's trying to like break bad.
yes, exactly. And she's
Got
trying
like
to
the lip smear going on. She kind of like swaggers up to them.
trying to scare Sakura. Lily, of course, says, you know, their bikes are fucking lame because they are,
They are lame.
or that Lily says that. So then
Lily's-
Saki comes
yeah.
up, and then the same thing happens. You get the grainy footage, you get the rough sketch, as well as the same soundtrack, and she just like scares the fuck out of these girls,
Mhm.
like immediately.
Well, I think my favorite part was they swagger up to try and like beat him up, and they're immediately like, "What middle school do you come from?" To which Lily's response is, "She's an eternal elementary schooler," and the other two girls are like, "It's kind of lame if we beat up an elementary school girl, so you're fine. Just stand up to the side.
Go away.
We're not gonna fuck with you. It's lame if we beat up an elementary school girl."
So Saki shows up, protects Sakura and Lily, and then Maria and her friends, you know, fuck off. This kind of reminds Saki about the time she used to have in her motorcycle gang
Yes.
from days past. Oh, fucking hell.
Well, she recognizes the name of the gang, I think, or the name of
Yes.
the girl. She recognizes something on the jacket as they walk away.
Well, she recognizes that it's her gang
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure you're correct. Well, no, you're definitely correct.
because yeah, it's the same name.
Yeah, it's the same name. So she recognizes the name of the gang because it was the same one that she used to be part of.
Yep. So they fuck right off again. Maria goes off to the beach, and we also have the
Well,
scene.
not the beach. It's
Oh,
like the side of a river.
side of a river. Oh, one of those fake rivers.
Okay, are they fake rivers?
I think so. Yeah.
They show up in anime all the time. I have no idea what it is.
They're like artificial rivers, like
Okay.
canals.
Okay.
Oh,
One
I
of those
think-
places where people go to stare into, when they have emotional problems at sundown.
but yeah, there's like a couple of actual like smaller canals, fake little streams here in Virginia. I used to live next to one.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was concrete and everything.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think these are just kind of a bigger scale. I think that's what they
Right.
are, because like there's like similar stuff like that in like California. That's where all the
Okay.
fucking races happen in movies. right?
Oh, yeah, they're like,
Like it's
well, that's like a
intense.
full on, yeah, I know what you're talking about, like the full on concrete thing,
Hmm.
like the at the end of I think the first Terminator, where they're like dun 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 in the semis, so they're chasing them down the.
It's
Yeah, I
in
know
a
what you're
lot of
talking about.
movies.
It is in a lot of movies.
But instead of just having everything be concrete, some of them, they had like grass and stuff to make it look nicer, which
Yeah,
makes sense. But
yeah.
yeah, that's where they're at. Um, and we have the gang along with the producer, driving the van down and around, presumably going back to the mansion or that decrepit house.
Uh-huh.
And Saki sees her old gang, who three strong versus her old rivals who are
A whole
20
bunch.
strong, and also
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure much older than the three girls.
seriously.
So she just like jumps out, fucking does a wonderful roll.
Down the stairs.
Now it rolls down the stairs. It's I want to say it's perfect because she does kind of break her neck a little bit.
I mean,
But
it was
for
a
the
solid tuck and roll.
yeah, it was like a solid tuck and roll, but not perfect. I'd give it an
Yeah.
8.
I mean, I would give it a 10, considering she's a zombie.
I'd give it an 8. Like
With
if she's
considerations to zombieism, it was a 10.
but like what would being a zombie change?
Whether or not I evaluate potential damage to the body.
But like she still fucked up her head.
Yeah, but she made it look better because she did. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to do the tuck and roll.
No,
I'm pretty sure if you jumped out of a car down some stairs and tried to do the tuck and roll, you would die.
you
There
would
is no
die.
amount of you can
And,
do it perfectly and survive that.
and you would get a 1. But she tucked and rolled, but not perfectly. That's why it's an 8.
There is
Ha-
no
ha-
perfect.
has
Why are
she-
you saying perfect?
Had she like just stood up and had her like head be not fucked up, then it would have been a 10 because that would have been the perfect tuck and roll.
But there's no such thing as the perfect tuck and roll
If
in
you're a
this
zombie, there can
situation.
be.
Oh God. Okay, fine, whatever.
But anyways, she shows up. Instead, it completely ignores the rival gang and asks Maria. I don't even know why I remember her name. Well, Maria's a pretty fucking memorable name because it's not some random ass Japanese name I don't know how to pronounce.
Right.
Anyways, I know Maria's. I don't know fucking Sakura's or little. My dog's name is Leela. That's close enough.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah. She asks him like, "Hey, what's your mom's name?" Because at this point, presumably, they're related. And
okay. So, yeah, Saki jumps in between in this fight. The other gang leader is sort of indignant, but Saki backs everybody down by once again breaking out her solid biker gang glare. The police officer stops by once again
oh my god, I
to
forgot about Mr.
basically
Mike, police
beg
officer.
the girls to go away. He shows up and saying like, you
No,
know,
don't fight. And then she
don't
just runs
fight,
away.
and they all give him a solid glare. He falls off his bike and he's like, please go home. Please be good girls.
You have to be you have to be more whiny.
He did-
Mr.
well, he also-
Mike has the perfect whine voice. Jesus
does.
Christ.
But yeah, so the girls decide to, humor the cop and not fight right there. But the
Yeah. So,
new gang leader basically says, or the actually possessing motorcycles gang
yeah.
leader
White haired lady is
says,
like, "Yo,
we're gonna sell this
go-
later.
let's settle this at some other point. I'm gonna send a letter to your house. Let's hit
Well, she doesn't say that. She says we'll settle this later. There is a letter at her house
Yes.
later.
And they're like, girls,
Um,
roll out. And then they fuck off.
Yeah.
Maria says some shit to Saki, and then they go away. And then Saki goes back to the van
Yes.
or back home. I don't
So-
remember.
We continue with Maria as she returns home, as we see the purple-haired woman, now a mother, as she waits for her daughter to get home. Maria shows up at home and is pretty upset at the mom for sitting there and waiting around for her to get home.
Which side note, +1 to the MILF. The MILF
Yeah.
tally. Boop.
The MILF tally, purple hair. She
What's
was
the purple hair?
pretty
That's
banging.
purple hair, right?
She's still purple hair.
Okay, it's purple hair. Yeah, she like whines like, you're not a good mom. You're always apologizing and shit. I'm gonna
Right.
go to my room without eating dinner. She's like, all right.
Whatever.
Bitch.
There's also this letter that got stuffed into her mailbox, and it clearly says challenge on the front. Which you would think that a mom who used to be a member of a gang would look at that and be like, I'm gonna read this. But apparently she doesn't, so whatever.
Well, I mean, she knows what's going on. Well, I think she understands what's going on, but like she doesn't do anything uh productive. Not
She doesn't do
productive.
anything at that moment, which I don't
Yeah.
know. It was just weird to me. It definitely seemed like one of those things. Like if I was the mother of a person like that and had knowledge about stuff like that, I would definitely take that as like maybe I should figure out where this challenge is about to be happening. Oh, it's the suicide cliff. Maybe I should do something about this
The
before it gets
suicide
out of
cliff.
hand.
It's the bad accident cliff.
I mean, it's the bad accident cliff. I don't know if you can call it an accident when you're driving at the cliff by yourself of your own volition. But it's not an accident. You made the stupid decision.
I mean, it's a
Anyways,
zombie. Yeah.
the
Anyways,
suicide cliff side.
producer's like, "Yo, you're an idol. You can't do violent stuff." And Saki's like, "All right, fuck you, whatever." And so she just goes to do the violent stuff anyways.
Kind of. So basically, the producer says you can't get in fights because violence is a no-no for idols, and you're going to ruin everything. And Saki basically says like, "I got it," and she kind of goes off to be alone for a little bit and kind of reminisce about the past, where she then hears the sounds of the other gang going by on their motorcycles and realizes what's probably about to happen and where it's probably about to happen because it's where she died, as we find out. Because this is the part where we have the flashback to Saki's death, where she also engaged in basically how they settle things around here is a game of chicken with the cliff, where both sides drive at the cliff as fast as they can, and whoever breaks first loses. And Saki probably braked way too late and took a hard dive off the cliff and burned to death. Or
I like to
died.
think that she just never braked.
She never braked. She just drove off the cliff while
Like,
living.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking live. Fuck this. Broom. And then she died.
Interesting. Maybe. We never actually saw the going off the cliff thing, but I'm willing to believe that.
But by the way, this goes into the next part wherein we see Mr. Chickenhead or Miss Chickenhead. And I just want to point out there is a lot of chicken imagery in the show.
Is there?
It is more than you'd like, more than I would guess. Like, we've got the whole Chicken Tori episode. There's the chicken thing here, and then you got the chicken face, and then you got the cock-a-doodle-doo joke going on and on. Well, a lot of chickens. I think Saga is an expert of chicken.
I mean, they are known for their drive-in chicken, so
Exactly.
maybe maybe they were so happy that they got the CEO of Drive-In Chicken to come in that they were like, it's all going to be chickens.
Exactly. See, Chicken Lady was a thank you for the Chicken Tori guy. He's like, here you go. We made it just for you. She's got
For
a chicken
you.
on her head.
She's got a chicken in her hair.
And she drives, therefore driving chicken.
Therefore, Drive-In Chicken. The subliminal messaging is strong.
So yeah.
So
she fetches a bike from somewhere. We don't see this happen just yet.
Yeah.
But we also have Mom, hot as fuck Mom,
Hot as fuck purple hair mom who
Purple hair
goes
mom.
to Maria's room to say like, hey, come eat your dinner that I saved for you.
Doesn't see that she's there. Sees the window open. Because
Sees
everyone,
the challenge letter laying on the bed and sees that it says, come to the suicide cliff today.
and most importantly, she actually sees that the window's open. Presumably she went.
Maria's gone.
So she goes downstairs to get her ugly-looking fucking motorcycle, and then heads over to the suicide cliff.
Yep.
I fucking got me saying it now.
She's fucking, and she tears off, pops a wheelie and
Bro.
everything.
Fucking gets rid of that fucking apron because fuck that. She ain't no mom anymore.
She ain't no mom. She's straight up G again.
So they head over to the cliff. They talk about how they're gonna play chicken. And then up comes Mom. His mom's like, yo, you can't fucking do this shit. It's fucking stupid, kid. And she's like, yeah, you're not my mom.
Well, it's not quite like that. It's more like, please don't do this. This game is stupid and people have died before. I'd really like it if you didn't.
Oh, man, I wish you just slapped the shit out of her there.
And then,
and
whatchamacallit?
then Saki shows up in riding a bicycle. Very
Right.
quickly, I might add you. As fast as a motorcycle.
Very recklessly.
Those thighs are strong.
Because she, despite riding on a bicycle, cannot brake in time to not go crashing into the lined up motorcycles on the side of this chicken race event. So she wipes out into the bikes and declares herself captain of her old gang for the day.
Which
That
she has
she
a
will
sash that
start.
says captain for the day.
She does have a sash that is handwritten that says captain for the day.
I love Saki.
But so she decides that she will be captain. She takes the mom's bike. They start the race, and Saki just floors it straight off the cliff. No fear.
No fear. What you gonna do?
Don't know.
Die
Don't
again?
entirely know why she was like, "I'm just gonna floor it off this cliff in front of my old friend who watched me die before, like an idiot." But Saki decides like that's the great thing to do is just let's just floor it off this cliff because that's smart.
Like I said, she can't die again. I mean, she can get very dismembered, but she can't die again.
Right, but if you just if you previously had died in front of your friend after flooring it off a cliff in the chicken race, would you really go and do it again?
No, it's okay because she says that she wasn't her friend. That was some other girl.
Oh, right, yeah. They do the classic zombie thing. Well, okay, I guess to
It's
be
not really
fair,
a classic zombie thing. There's not many zombies that like are
it's the
sentient.
classic Zombieland Saga thing so far.
Yeah.
Because Lily also pulled it.
Oh, I'm not that lady. You're like, all right.
There was this old child actor who
I don't
Yeah,
know who
so-
he is.
I mean, to be fair though, if you did see like somebody who looked exactly like somebody who you watched die, you wouldn't be like, "You're a zombie." You'd be like, "Wow, you look a lot like somebody I used to know."
Yeah.
That would probably be the end of it. So I can kind of forgive this show for that because it's definitely not like it's been long enough that it's not super like surprising.
I mean, for this, yeah, for this, well, actually, we still don't know when this takes place.
Right.
But
I
know when the
assume
past
it
one.
takes place in the present day, but I have
Who
no
knows?
basis for that.
Yeah. If it does, then it's been 21 years since she died. Because
It's been at least 10 years. We know that.
Well, I'm talking about when she died, when Saki died.
When Saki died? We know that she died in 97.
Yeah, so it's been 21 years if we're going with its present day.
Right. But I'm saying that at the very minimum, it has to be at least 10 years. Because we know that at least one of the last ones to die that we know about so far is
Hold on, I said this last time and you disagreed with me.
what? That
That
I
it's-
died in.
That it's been at least 10 years. Because I brought up this whole thing about how her old troop should have looked older because it's been at less than 10 years, and you're like, I don't think it's been that long.
No, you said it's been at least 10 years since I died, and I said we don't know that it's been that long. But it's been at least 10 years since Saki died.
Oh, Sakura.
Because I died in the late 2000s.
Yes.
So we know it's been at least 10 years since Saki died, because we don't know how long after I got revived, but it was 10 years in between Saki and I.
Oh, okay, that's what we're talking about. All right.
Yeah, so it's been at least 10 years there. So however much more time after I is how much more time, but it's been at least 10 years since Saki died.
I don't think this really matters. Anyways,
Anyways,
if it matters, they'll fucking explain it.
although to be fair, with we saw Saki's friend who with the purple hair has now become a mom of like a middle schooler, so it's definitely been
I think he's a
probably
high schooler.
14 or 15 years.
Or, no, middle school, because that's why they
Middle
wouldn't want
schoolish.
to. That's why they wouldn't want to beat up a elementary schooler.
An elementary school girl, yeah. And they talk about like what middle school do you go to?
Yeah.
So I assume they're middle schoolers. But anyways, yeah, so it's probably been at least 14 or 15 years, if not more, because the purple hair girl had to like
Have a
mature
child.
and find somebody and have a child with them and get married and all that. So it's been like 14 or 15 years at least since 97 minimum. Anyways,
I think we're reading too much into how much time has passed.
I mean, I don't think we're reading too much into it. I think we're reading the minimum into it.
It's been
They're
some
not
time.
they're not making a big deal about it, but I mean, we're taking the obvious clues they're giving us. Well, not clues. We could just accept
Yeah,
it's present day.
I don't think there's like any clues. I don't think it just matters.
Right. We could just say it's 2018 and it's been 20 years or so since
It's
Saki
been
and-
time. Things have happened.
I think it's just present day, dude.
Uh,
I don't think we have to be. I don't think it's trying to be vague or coy about it. I don't think we have to be vague or coy about it. I think it's just 2018, 2017, and 2018. I think it's just
I think it's the future.
I don't think it's the future.
I think it's the future.
Seeing as how we've seen nothing futuristic yet, pretty
mean-
sure it's not the future.
You don't need futuristic shit to be the future.
I mean, you're not
This is
wrong.
also like Saga, which apparently like farms and has chickens. So we're not gonna see a lot of futuristic shit here.
It's the Japan equivalent of the Midwest.
Basically. This
Okay,
is
that's
fucking
fair.
Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin
Yeah.
with less cheese.
It's Wisconsin with less cheese and more chicken.
So yeah, we also see the producer out in the back, just kind of chilling in the van. And then Saki's like, "Yo, I'm gonna sing a song about this."
Right.
And
Well,
they
because
sing the song.
she's trying to basically do like the scared straight thing to the biker ladies, where it's like, you think being on a bike is legendary? Check this shit out. Idol song,
Yay! And then they sing a song,
and then sing a song
and it's
because
not 3D this time.
it's not 3D. They do have actual animation, but again, the animation was more focused on Saki, and so I can understand why they could do it without having to do the 3D. Also, there was fewer scenes, so it also made sense.
They may have been rotoscoped.
Maybe.
They probably were.
I
You've
don't know.
got 3D models, may
There
as well
wasn't so
rotoscope them.
much that they had to do. It was like a minute at most, and it was mostly Saki, and the crowd scenes were like almost entirely static.
Oh, but we do get Fat Pikachu and Metalhead.
We do have Fat Pikachu and Metalhead. Their crowd, their fans are fucking bizarre.
I mean,
If the bikers stay around, they have some bizarre ass fans.
I like that they're growing. They're growing a nice fan base. It's fun.
They have the Metalhead twins, they've got the biker chicks, and they're trying to collect the old people. Hell of a fan base.
I do like that next episode's gonna be Yugiri. We finally get some of her.
Okay, is it? I don't know if it is or not.
Actually, I don't know because I saw
I can't
one
tell.
scene and it had her in there, so I automatically assumed that was gonna be her episode.
Okay, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're just doing more general idol work.
Okay,
Like
never
generic
mind
idol
then.
work. I
I'm
don't
super
think
wrong.
it's a Yuri focused.
I should have kept watching.
But it is only the 10th episode, so we do still have that episode and then two more. So there may still be a Yugiri episode coming.
I doubt it. I think I don't know.
I mean, we might. It would be weird because like every other person's. Well, that's not true. I and Junko's didn't. Well, that's not true. They had eyes
kind of
past.
Yeah, they kind of had Ai and Junko's ish,
They didn't have any of Junko's past, but they had eyes past a little bit.
but like they had a Junko like very specific Junko episode wherein she
Oh
like
no, they did have a Junko episode. They just didn't have
Yeah.
any of like somebody from
past shit.
Junko's past show up. So I was gonna say it's gonna be hard to do a Yugiri episode because they don't have anybody from her past to show up because they're all dead.
Yeah.
It's been like 200 years since she was alive.
her great
Yeah.
grand nephew. I don't know.
Grand nephew,
I mean,
her
presumably,
illegitimate great grandnephew because she was a courtesan and therefore couldn't get married.
or she had a brother who had a son or daughter, and that's how they're related.
Maybe.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I mean, if she was a great
speculation
courtesan,
aside,
if she was a great courtesan, there's probably a book written about her.
what?
There's probably a book written about her.
Maybe.
So anyways, Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yes.
We were right. It was Freaky Friday. Apparently, people were surprised about this.
Yep.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It was pretty obvious from the trailer at the end of last time.
Was there a
But
trailer?
regardless, well, at the end
was
of
like-
episode
it was
8,
a
they
scene.
always have those like 3 or 4 like quick shots of like what's going to be coming, and I mean they made it pretty obvious that it was going to be Freaky Friday
Have they?
in episode 8. Yeah,
Jesus, I don't
It
remember
was like-
this.
it was like here's the yellow girl like waking up and freaking out. Here's you know her interacting with her sister or her interacting with Mai, and
shit.
they are clearly using the wrong mannerisms for their characters.
Okay, so fun fact, I don't get those scenes.
Oh, at the end of the episodes.
Nope.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember. I feel like there was an episode of, or at least one of the shots that was not in this episode was like the blonde-haired girl waking up and being like, "Where am I? Who is this?" And then she looks in the mirror and like freaks out.
Okay, well, because
It was like a full-on like the Freaky Friday scene where they do the exact same bit.
yeah, well, in this case, Mai wakes up. Well, whatever blonde-haired girl wakes up in Mai's body, and like just like looks at this mirror. That's the last scene I remember from last episode. And
Okay.
that was like immediately clued me off to it was Freaky Friday.
Yeah. Well, there was also, I guess the thing you don't get is at the end of every episode, there's
Yeah,
always
it
like
was just a
3 or 4
teaser.
quick shots and
Yeah.
people saying like, "Oh, you're such a rascal," or a random character saying, "Oh, you're such a rascal," usually related to the
I
story.
remember that. I think I'm just not remembering those scenes. I'm pretty sure I did
I
see
guess you're
them.
not just remembering those scenes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired.
But
Fuck
yeah,
it,
the ones from
whatever.
the ones from last episode that made it really obvious was that it was a scene with the blonde-haired girl and Mai, and they were using the wrong mannerisms for their characters, or at least Mai was using the wrong mannerisms. So I was like, "Oh, it's clearly Freaky Friday."
Freaky Friday. And
Freaky
yes,
Friday.
it
But
is
yeah,
true.
episode 9, Freaky Friday. We got some bodies. We got the invasions of body snatchers up in here.
That's not really Freaky Friday. That's more or less a strong dislike of communism. That was what that
True.
movie was
Yeah,
about.
that was what that movie was about.
They'll switch. They won't be who they are. They'll be like
Won't be who
themselves,
they are
but
anymore.
they'll be just like everyone else. Just like everyone
Right.
else. How awful.
Brendan, please. We're not political here.
I want to watch the movie again.
So
So, we start off the episode, Nick?
yes, we start off the episode with returning to school, and Sakuta is excited to see his girlfriend again. But lo and behold, we get to the first day of school and she's not there.
Oh no.
So he goes over to her apartment. He sees her waiting on the street.
Looking
She
kinda
does not
confused.
recognize him. Looking kind of confused. She doesn't recognize him. Mai doesn't recognize him when he shows up, and he's sort of confused. And then the blonde-haired girl comes out, who is actually Mai, and explains that once again, puberty symptom has reared its ugly fucking head, fucked over their life yet again. They, her younger sister and Mai, have switched bodies,
Dude, this kid
and they
cannot
don't
catch a break.
yeah. And Sakuta just looks up at the sky and is like, "Why me?"
So, I think this reminded me of something. I think this is like the first time I've seen someone in anime roll their eyes. Because that was like an eye roll gesture.
It definitely was a solid eye roll gesture. I feel like there's definitely been eye rolls in other shows.
But like, I just don't remember them. This one, like, this one stands out because I'm remembering it just because it feels like I haven't seen it before.
I mean, I definitely have seen it before. I can't think of an example because it has never been relevant before, but it's definitely not novel.
I don't know. I just can't think of anything. But anyways, yeah, he eye rolls it up, and then we cut to the opening, or the opening was before this. I don't remember.
The opening was after that.
Okay, cool. I was right. Opening. Also during this time, we also see that Nanoka. I think her name's Nanoka.
I think you're right.
Well, anyways, Blondie. Her name's Blondie.
Yeah.
Blondie and Mai's body's like, yo, why are you so calm about this? And they're both like, it's happened before.
Right. We're used to this at this
Yeah,
point.
we'll just deal with it. Here, take my keys. I'll be going.
Right. So, well, the first night, Blondie and Mai stay together in Mai's apartment, but after that, Mai makes Sakuta take Blondie to school because obviously Blondie doesn't know
Yeah,
how to
she
get to
doesn't know
school.
where to go. I don't know where how Mai knows where to go. She kinda
I
does.
don't know actually either. That's a good point. But she knows somehow.
You know what? That's probably what's in the fucking cabinet.
Maybe.
Anyways,
The cabinet.
Mai, not being a complete fucking idiot, just knows what to do and just does it.
Right. Well, first they have like a little conversation before they split up about like how they're both losers with no friends. And then they split up, and Sakuta and Not Mai have a conversation on the train, and I realize that Not Mai really sucks because she is in no way as interesting as Mai. Having Not Mai in Mai's body makes all of her interactions with Sakuta, like, I'm now realizing why Mai is so great. Because, like, their interactions together, like, usually you're like, oh, these are such good interactions. Watching what's almost a cliche anime character in Not Mai, aka blonde hair, watching her interactions with Sakuta in Mai's body, it makes me, like, hate the show a little bit. It's just so cliche. Like, you have
What part's
Sakuta
cliche?
trying to make it. Well, it's just like this, the whole like interactions of like, you're disgusting, you're a pervert, I hope you die. Like, that's all of her responses to him all the time.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's just so like, maybe not cliche, but it's very like blasé. Like, there's no character
Yo.
or substance.
Bingo! There we go. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to use that word.
Oh,
Counting down when you were gonna say that fucking word.
when did you yell at me about using blasé all the time? I don't remember.
Anytime you use blasé, I yell at you for it.
I know you do. I just don't remember. Specifically, you brought it up.
This
You've
was like-
started doing it more recently. I just forget what the original time.
This
you
was
did it
months
was.
ago.
It was like months ago.
This was months ago. Anyways, I see what you're saying about
Were you
that.
working me into slaying blasé there?
No,
or did
I
you,
wasn't. Well,
Okay.
I may not have been. I don't know if I was.
You just
like-
knew you knew once I started to stutter that it was gonna come out. It was gonna be
I
the
knew
word I
once, like you
defaulted
said,
to.
cliche, and we're looking for another word to use other than cliche. I knew it was going to come out.
Okay.
I was waiting for it. But anyways, I can see what you mean with it being kind of cliche.
Mhm.
But keep in mind that this is like a girl who like looks up to her sister, and like she's just meeting the person she's going out with, and like she's just not like this kid.
No, it's I totally get
Yeah.
it. But I'm just saying, like, because I have to watch their interactions in Mai's body, and we're so used to like every time that Mai and Sakata are together, they have like such great back and forths.
Chemistry, you might say.
Yeah, exactly. They have like such good chemistry together, and like their back and forths are so like interesting and like novel for anime. It's like watching the same two physical characters have such a different style of interaction. It's like it just takes away from the magic a little bit.
Okay. That's what the episode, that's what the show could have been.
That's what the show could have been. Yeah,
Yep.
if it was slightly more generic, that's what it would have been.
Yeah. They head off. He tells her where to go, which what classes to take, and blah blah blah, whatever.
Right.
Along with making more jokes about her body.
Yep.
And they head over to yeah. He heads over to his classroom, wherein he tries to get some more help from Kunimi and Rio. First, he starts off with Kunimi, wherein Kunimi realizes that brother sister stuff he doesn't really know about it, so he decides to ask someone who does have an older sister.
Yep.
And that is bitchy girlfriend.
Bitchy girlfriend who
isn't so bitchy
got a
anymore.
name this episode. Immediately, I forgot it.
Oh, she has a name? I always think of her as red hair.
I mean, yeah, she has a name.
Oh,
But
whatever.
specifically, he's like, he calls out to her, and she's like, or no, when she shows up, he's like, blah blah blah, like he says her name, and he's like, my friend Sakata has a question for you, but I immediately, like, my brain just refused to retain the information of what her name was. She just will continue to be bitchy girlfriend.
And for me, she's red hair. I kind of like her. I don't hate her. She is kind of bitchy, but whatever.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like,
She isn't as like mean anymore.
right,
But anyways, she talks about how she doesn't really like her older sister because her parents are always like, "Oh, your older sister's so much better than you." Well,
Right.
not in those words, but like
why don't you study more so you could be like your older sister, who's so
Yeah.
much better than you? Implied.
basically like that. And then he's starting to formulate a plan. He's starting to figure out what's going on with the two sisters, because one of them has an inferiority complex, and the other one just doesn't really give a shit.
Right.
Which it doesn't. They're both at fault there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, really, in the next scene, we know who's really at fault, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah. Seriously.
So he thanks her and he just kind of walks away.
Right.
And
Well,
then
she doesn't really. I don't even know if they see her leaving. You're just kind of like,
it
okay, I
just
got
cuts,
it.
It cuts to Rio.
And he like kind of nutshells it really quickly, and then it just cuts away.
With Rio, they're interacting, and she basically just says, not really
It's
much.
pretty
She
fu-
doesn't really help.
She doesn't really help. She kind of just says like, it's pretty fucking obvious based on what you've said. Who like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's clearly like a sister problem.
Yeah.
Sister / expectations problem.
And that's really it. She's like, all right, then get the fuck out of my lab.
I want to eat my ramen.
My ramen. Which I wanted to make this prediction last episode about how she was going to keep her ponytail and her glasses, because that's like both aspects of like what she split into. But I didn't make the prediction, and I want to say that was my prediction, but no one's going to believe me now that it's happened.
Right. You don't
But-
get credit for being right in the
Yeah, because we
after it's happened.
yeah, but I'll just pause it. Just believe me when I say I predicted it, because I have a strong will to be right about everything, a
Okay.
pathological need to be right.
We'll put exactly 1 point on the board for you.
That's actually a lot of points on the board for me.
No,
That's a lot of points.
1 point.
Enough points.
1 point
Wait, for just this one thing?
for just this one thing.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I was talking about everything else. I meant like,
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying for this, you get a single point.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's one thing, 1 point. Like, you're not really making it less. Like, what
I, mean,
was
I would say if it was an impressive enough, guess, you could get bonus points.
I wouldn't say this was impressive though. I think it was pretty fucking obvious.
Okay, fair.
Anyways, so then Sakata and Blondie and Mai's body go over to the beach, the actual beach this time, not one of those fake beaches that I talked about 2 seconds ago.
The fake river beaches, yeah.
Yeah. This is
You
an
can go
actual
to the
beach
actual beach with sand and water, or salt water and stuff.
Yeah, Sakata has his best Slav squat going on while he's
He does
watching.
have a solid Slav squad.
While he's watching
I
another
didn't
girl.
register it, but yeah, he does.
Yeah, while he's watching another girl in his girlfriend's body take off her stockings.
Right.
Wherein he tries to like bant about it, but the retort it's just not there anymore because
It's just not there
not
anymore.
Mai.
He does supply it sometimes what Mai's response would have been, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of funny. But, other than that, I want to be smothered by your legs.
Oh man, what a fucking dream, dude.
Mai's response: smothering a young boy with my legs is nothing. I love Sakata's made up conversations. This is what Mai would have said.
He's just like off in his corner, just fantasizing about everything.
That's basically what this episode was for Sakata's. He gets to tell somebody else all the things that Mai would have said. Whether or not she would have actually said them is irrelevant.
Yeah. So they talk about her upcoming job, about what she has to do. Um, and then she talks about her mother, if I remember correctly. This is when she brings up her mother, about how she
Oh
basically.
yeah, this is where she vents to Sakata about her mom and all of the expectations and a little bit more about their past. I don't think at this point they had really explained their past. So this is where you get the explanation of
Part of it. Later on, Mai tells Sakata everything. This is when he's at the restaurant, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah.
That's when she says, basically, couples everything together.
Okay.
So they kind of they talk it out, and that's that scene. It's the leg jokes, and then the revelation that Blondie's mom is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Along with
She basically is forcing her daughter to go off and do the shit and yelling at her for not being better than Mai.
Yep. Which is exactly what Mai's mom did.
Yeah.
They've got
Minus
some-
the yelling because she is doing better than the blonde-haired girl.
I'm pretty sure there's some sort of yelling or some.
There's probably some sort of yelling.
Yeah.
And you're not good enough, but
At
less
least-
fueled based on this blonde-haired young girl is beating you, and more fueled on your disappointment.
I think it's not really you're just not disappointed, but like you're not good enough. It's more that just better, right? The expectations fall on expectations just in general fall on Mai, while expectations about being better than Mai fall on the little sister. For the listeners,
Okay.
it's not about her accomplishments; it's her accomplishments in comparison to Mai.
All
Well,
right.
for
Okay.
Mai, it's just doing shit.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really happen anymore now that she basically cut off her mom from her life. So we get the scene where they confront each other, which is the next scene. Mai and Nanaka's body, or I keep saying Nanaka, but I don't even know if that's her name. They show up and they kind of have their interaction. They start talking to each other, and Sakura's off in the background because he doesn't really have any skin in this. He's like, I'm not gonna, he's not gonna butt in. He's just facilitating their conversation.
Right.
Wherein they start arguing about how they hate each other.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well,
Both
I don't know if it's
exactly like
arguing. They
wanted
both basically just yell, "I hate you" at the other person,
to.
and they agree that they hate each other, and that kind of just ends it.
Yes. Basically. And then the next scene, I believe, is the scene where Mai has her panic attack, or Blondie in Mai's body has a panic attack during the photo shoot. Or commercial?
Minor scene being we see that blonde
Oh.
hair, Mai as blonde hair, has gone home with Sakata to his
Yes.
apartment, and blonde hair as Mai has gone home to Mai's apartment. I think, yeah, the next important scene is the panic attack scene.
Yeah, but we also get some more Kaida being fucking funny, where she's reacting to her brother bringing another girl, another
Yeah.
underage girl.
Another
to the
underage
house.
girl showing up at their apartment.
I wonder why she didn't say that she was Mai.
Yeah, okay, this is the one thing that annoyed me. Kaide knows about puberty syndrome.
And she knows about all the instances. Like she knows about Rio. I don't think she knows about Koga. She
I
didn't
don't
know
think
about
she
Koga.
knew
I
about
don't think.
Koga.
Yeah, but she knows about Rio and herself and her brother and Mai.
Right, and Mai.
There's 4 instances.
There's 4 instances that she knows about, and yet, despite the fact that we showed up with yet another girl, we couldn't be like, oh yeah, this is actually Mai. You know her already. She just looks different.
Yeah, and 2 as well. It's not like she's gonna go out on the internet and tell everyone, cause
Yeah.
yeah, not to make a mean joke about it.
Oof. The implied mean joke is there, and it's brutal.
But yeah, that was just very weird.
It was. I agree.
Which also is another callback. Not really a callback, but something I like to mention is that the cat Hayate is just kind of sleeping on his face in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
I fucking love that cat.
Was a solid joke. A solid cat joke.
Gag? Joke?
Okay,
Gag? I don't know.
gag.
Whatever. Yeah. Next scene is Sakuta is looking at Mai or observing Mai to make sure that everything's going well at the photo shoot.
Yes.
Fun fact: it does not go well. They
No.
try to take, and she kind of does okay. There's a cut for some reason. We don't know why. Probably some technical issue.
Well, I think they were. I think the first cut was basically like a, make sure everything is functional, make sure the cameras are doing what they need to be doing. We have everything in place.
I'm pretty sure. No,
It was like a technical start.
I don't know. I think it was just an actual take and something. Regardless, there's a cut.
Because they use a specific term where they're like, we're gonna do this specific sort of run. So it's like they were basically doing like a test run, is what it felt like.
Don't remember.
I feel like they used a specific word there where they were like test run time.
Okay. But anyways, they take another take. They have another take, and then she just starts hyperventilating and starts going crazy. She's having a panic attack, and she faints. They help her up, and Sakura just kind of leaves, which kind of makes sense. It's not like he can really be around her.
Right.
He goes back home. Blonde or Mai and Blondie's body shows up and says, "Yo, how'd it go?" They take a couple takes. I think that's how long it would take. She says, and then Sakura's like, "No, she fainted."
Yeah.
And that basically ends that episode or that part. I believe during this part we also kind of get cuts of what's.
I think that was before.
Yeah, before we have cuts of
before
Blondie and Mai.
before the pen attack. We have a whole bunch of like flash cuts of them going about their
montage,
each other's days, essentially.
Mm-hmm. I believe now after the jogging scene is when we get the key, when she gives the key to Sakuta.
Well, before that, another thing that was sort of mentioned in passing, but is something that I've been talking about every once in a while, so I want to bring it up again, is that Mai, in Blonde Hair's body, while they were in Sakuta's apartment, brings up the fact that his scars haven't gone away yet.
Yeah, which
so
I'm pretty sure scars are scars because they've scarred over the tissue and they don't really go away.
But they're also related to his whole puberty syndrome thing. So like,
they're magical scars. You're saying
they are, yeah, like they're magical scars as related to his puberty syndrome. So it's like I think that was referencing the fact that like his puberty syndrome hasn't been fully cleared up yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be nothing. But
that's the thing. What is his syndrome?
I don't
know what it is.
I really think they're gonna like the last episode or tying in with the
with the sister.
With the well, not the sister, but the future girl.
We're not next. The last arc is the sister arc.
No, it's the future girl's arc.
Sister arc.
Kaide's arc?
Yep.
Really?
Stay at home sister. I think the movie is the future girl.
What? What the fuck? It's clearly supposed to be the future girl. Why is it Kaide's arc?
I mean, it might have something to do with future girl. Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
The movie should be Kaide's arc. The future girl should be the next arc.
If the movie's a finale, I would feel like it makes sense if the future girl was that arc. We say future girl, but we don't know if it's actually the future girl.
We don't know that it's the future. I feel like her power has something to do with time travel, but I don't know. Anyways, I feel like, but okay. Regardless of all that, yeah, they do mention fucking kill your. The scars thing. They mention it. The show seems to be saying that there's going to be more about that, but we'll see.
Hey, this is important. Pay attention.
Pay attention. He still has the scars. It's a plot point. Anyways, yeah. So after the hyperventilation scene, the next scene is the jogging scene where Blonde Hair basically says like, Mai as Blonde Hair says like, oh yeah, it should have gone great, and Sakura's like, yeah, funny story, did not go great. Didn't even really start.
It
failed immediately.
It started, but it failed immediately.
Right. Failed immediately.
Yes.
DOA. So then she gives him a key, not a key to keep, just a key for the moment because he has to go make sure that
he's okay.
Yeah, her little sister is okay, and she tells him, "Don't open the cabinet in the Japanese-styled room." Immediately, the only thing I wanted him to do was open the cabinet.
Oh, you too, huh? Yeah, I was like, yes, open it.
As soon as she was like, just never open the cabinet in the Japanese-style room, I was like, now that's all I want to do. Yeah, all I want to do is know it's in the cabinet.
Like, the moment someone tells me not to do something, is the moment I want to do it the most. Like, if you really want me to like not do something, just don't tell me about it. Just don't. Like, you don't want me to ask you a question? Don't even fucking mention it. Don't want me to fucking open the door? Don't even fucking say anything.
I remember at some point there was an achievement in I think one of the Halo games where it was like you had to play an entire mission without aiming down sights. The only thing I wanted to do the whole mission was aim at things. I didn't care what it was. I just wanted to aim at things.
Can't tell me what to do.
It was all I wanted to do. It was the worst achievement to try and get. Not for like being difficult, just for like your whole brain was like, just pull the left trigger. Just do it. Just look at things. Look at all the things. That warthog, just look at it. Look at it up close with your scope. But anyways,
Yeah.
So
He goes up to the room. He sees that my sister is living in squalor, like just trash everywhere. This girl's fucking disgusting.
yeah,
Just does not want to throw anything away.
doesn't want to clean up after herself. Doesn't want to pick up her dirty clothes.
Doesn't want to fucking eat.
Yeah, she's got like takeout containers in the sink
goddamn
for
it.
some reason.
I'm having flashbacks
To what?
to yesterday.
To yesterday?
Mostly to the fact that this is very similar to my sister's situation.
Oh,
Fucking dirty fucking little brat.
your dirty little sister doesn't, or your sister does not clean up her dirty things.
No, she's not.
She fucking leaves dishes in the sink and shit.
Yeah.
Like an animal.
Fucking
Like a
animal.
savage fucking animal.
I hate it so much. Anyways,
The worst part about that is it's way harder to clean dishes like later than they are
they
immediately.
get all crusty.
Exactly. Like if you eat and then immediately clean, it's super easy to clean because
Yeah, you
shit's
fucking
like it's easy to
scrub it
fucking
off.
scrape off and then soap it up and you're done. Like it's so easy to deal with. Fucking later in the day, it's like, oh great, I get to spend 12 minutes scraping shit off this plate. Cool.
Yep. So then Sakura tells her, go take a fucking shower.
Right.
I'll clean up. And then, of course, what does he do? He goes he goes into the Japanese style room and opens the fucking cabinet.
Opens a cabinet, and we're gonna find out. Hopefully, we're gonna find out what's in it next episode.
Fucking hope so. Like,
The alternative is he's gonna like go to open it, like his hand's gonna do the motion, and then he's gonna be like, "No, she asked me not to, and I should be the good boyfriend." And I'm gonna hate him a little bit. 'Cause I want to know.
I want to know too, but like, if you didn't want someone to know about something, just don't tell them about it.
Yeah, seriously.
God.
I really would not be in the if somebody was like, take care of my house for the day, I'd be like, okay, and I wouldn't like go through their shit. If they're like, take care of my house, just don't go in the basement, I'd be like, I'm gonna go in your basement.
I'm like, yeah, thanks for telling me, dude. I'm gonna go fucking in the basement.
I don't care what's in there. I'm gonna go look at it. I'm gonna look at everything in the basement now. Fuck the rest of your house. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna look at all your basement. It is a good way to distract me, though. If you were like, don't go in my basement when your weird shit is actually in your attic, I would
Right?
never go to your attic. I would just go to your basement.
Let's just look
So,
for everything. Like, there's something weird down here.
I need to know.
Where is it?
Meanwhile, the bondage gear is in your attic. Yeah, that would be the great way to distract somebody.
See, now the alternative is Mai wanted him to look into the cabinet, but if she wanted that, why not just say, "Hey, look into that cabinet on the Japanese style room"?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like if you say look in something, I would go look at it. Just like if you say don't look at something, I'm absolutely gonna go look at it. Either way, I'm gonna go look at it if you bring it up. So I don't know. It's either gonna be a shrine to Sakata or it's gonna be like dead people. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something cool.
Dead people. That'd be a cool twist. I'd be down with it.
If she was a murderer, the last 3 episodes are actually she. That's the Kaide arc. She was bullying Kaide all
Oh
this
my God.
time.
That's why she had the PTSD attack because she knows that ringtone.
Right.
She's heard it before.
She's heard it
It's the
before.
murderer's phone.
Exactly. That's gonna be the final arc. Mai is a murderer / bully of Kaide.
Nancy Drew, let's go.
Nancy Drew, let's go. So I'm excited for what's in the cabinet. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
It's gonna be Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
But yeah. Kaida's arc is next. It's the next arc that's going to happen, by the way. So get rid of that.
We'll see.
Let's
Maybe
talk
it'll
about
be
something
okay.
important though. What's her color going to be for her ending? My guess is green,
What was Mai's?
purple. Mine was purple. Mine was purple. Rio's is red. Blondie's is yellow.
Wasn't it Rio's blue?
Rio's was a very dark blue. Yeah.
What was was red Koga?
No.
What was Koga?
It didn't have like a color filter. It was actually just blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was just a standard color.
Then maybe Little Sisters or Kaide's will be red. Red for
Maybe.
blood.
Red for the blood she spilled. No.
Yes. She did get like straight up cut, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
like
misremembering
she
that.
like she like had like cuts appear on her skin and her body.
Okay. Like full on cuts. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not misremembering that. Good.
So
Yeah, I think it's
overall,
gonna be red.
yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. It's still been pretty good. This episode or this arc so far, less quantum physicsy, but we'll see. We still have some time.
Rio can still like pop in and be like, "Yo, let's learn bad quantum physics.
Let's learn about 40% of a quantum physics thing.
Let's learn the wrong 40%."
Right.
Maybe like the author was just like, this isn't really working for me anymore, and just stopped. Like, who knows? But yeah, it's still been a fun episodes this week. We have about 3 weeks left, and then we have to watch our new shows.
Yeah.
It's I feel like this season has gone by a lot faster than the past season. Mostly because in the past season we've had like very long shows.
We've had well, okay. In past seasons, we've had the last 2 seasons, or at least 3, or the last 2 or 3 seasons, we've had shows that we're just like less invested in, so they like dragged more. This season, we like actually like all of the shows, so it's a better season overall. So it goes by faster.
Yeah.
So it will be sad to see this one end, but on the same hand, or on the other hand, next season also looks good. So maybe it'll be
Who
another
knows?
solid season. Who
Uh,
knows?
Chances are, I just want that one show with the kid and his teacher,
His
teacher sister,
his
teacher
teacher
sister, to be lewd as fuck.
I am prepared for it to be anything it wants to be.
Also, to full circle this, I am sad that they're not looting the teacher in Gal Gohan. That's all I fucking want is to loot the teacher.
That's all that
and
you
they
want?
refuse to do it.
Do they? I don't remember that well.
They never loot the teacher.
That's
like they go to the
disappointing.
beach and she doesn't wear a fucking bikini.
That's disappointing. I really thought she did.
I'm I'm upset. I've got my arms crossed and I'm upset.
I understand. You should be upset. It's kind of bullshit.
I would like to sell out to P Bandai because they've got a lot of cool Gunpla kits that I can't buy because they're exclusive to Japan. They're also really fucking expensive and they're all fucking awesome.
Are they expensive in Japan, or are they just expensive if you wanted to get them shipped to
I mean, they're
America?
expensive just in general because they're like
Okay.
really premium kits. Like
Oh, okay.
part of their like premium Bandai like kits. They've got like metal kit, like metal builds.
Uh-huh.
Like they got metal builds. They've got like just nicer looking kits in general.
Like high quality, like plastic
super high-
polymer kits.
No, like they're the same like plastic type that just any of them use, but there's just more
The
detail on them.
detail?
Yeah.
Okay.
They come with like better decals. Like the decals that come with just the standard kits, like are kind of like stickers, which kind of
Uh-huh.
like if you put it like on a white plastic, you can actually see like the sticker outline and stuff. It doesn't look that great.
Right.
But
Okay.
with these other kits, they actually have either like like let that like tattoos that you rub on the plastic and it'll like paste. It'll basically just stick on there.
Right.
Or if it'll be like the water tattoos, which you kind of soak. You place it on the plastic, rip off the paper piece, and
Uh-huh.
the decals on there. Like those are like just look a lot nicer because they blend in better.
Uh-huh.
So they've got those type of decals.
Okay.
You can buy them aftermarket, but they're like $20 per sheet.
Ew, okay. Wow.
I mean, they look nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I mentioned this because I'm building my custom Zaku right now to complete my original Gundam and original Zaku kits. Yay! Gunpla.
Yay!
I love Gunpla.
Is that the last one you need?
Not
Wow.
really last one. It's just the two iconic ones from the first series. After these, I'm gonna try and probably fail for months on end to build the Psycho Zaku and the full armor Thunderbolt Gundam, which are fucking massive.
All right.
It'll
Well,
be
I'm
fun.
going to sell out to Jim Carrey because his movies are hilarious, and specifically because they're remaking The Grinch. I was like, I'm gonna go watch the better Grinch, and I watched the original Grinch, and then I watched Jim Carrey's live action Grinch movie. Uh, that movie is fucking great. Still holds up in my opinion. Solid movie. I love the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey.
I like the
That
original Grinch more.
the man does a solid Grinch in my opinion. Everything
Okay.
like the Who's and everything else in the Jim Carrey Grinch movie was like so-so. Jim Carrey's interpretation of the Grinch was amazing.
Jim Carrey in general is amazing.
It's true, he is.
Like
Liar
I said,
Liar, great movie.
I'm
Uh,
partial to Ace Ventura.
I was gonna say Ace Ventura,
Like it's
awesome.
fucking classic.
It's got fucking Dan Marino in it. How could that movie go wrong?
And it only gets slightly transphobic at the end there.
Only a little bit.
That was a joke from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Was it?
Yep.
I don't remember them making fun of the transphobicness of Ace Ventura, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I believe it was something about dolphins. I don't remember.
Okay, I'm willing to believe that. I mean, Dan Marino was a dolphin, so I can see the connection. Um, but yeah, Jim Carrey movies. Treat yourself to some Jim Carrey movies. He had a fucking solid body of work for comedy movies. None of them are a bad choice, in my opinion.
I got you.
So this has been yet another episode of ABC. We did not do introductions yet again.
Oh, I'm Brandon.
Yeah, he's Brandon, and I'm Nick.
Yeah, those are the two kits
Those the ones you're building, or the ones that
I'm
you?
going to build. I want to.
Okay,
Like,
those are very involved.
yeah, they are. They are very involved, from what I've heard.
Wow. Why does the second one have like the giant ass fucking ass blaster dildo coming off his back?
To go faster.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's that actually makes a lot of sense. Actually,
It's a rocket.
yeah. I can totally if I tilt my head, it's like, oh, yeah, it's a rocket. Okay, I see it.